I'm gonna hang this on the wall and I'm gonna show you how I do every damn step. We're gonna find studs with earth magnets and I'm gonna show you the proper way to put on big old 2x6s on the wall so you can hold something up that's this big. This thing by itself weighs 40 pounds. With me on it, that's another 230 pounds and it's not coming off the wall. It's on there good. So if you're thinking about putting on a TV on your wall, just attaching whatever to a wall, I'm gonna show you how to find the studs the easiest, fastest, cheapest way possible. This has been on here a month now and it worked.
This helped me lose 10 pounds.
Anyway, we're gonna watch this video on how to find studs on the wall, how to properly install bolts into like 2x6s if you want to attach something to a wall. Here we go. In Mr. Kevin style, one take, one shot, one dumb, a stupid thing after another. You're gonna see me just screw up all sorts of kinds of things trying to install this by myself, which I shouldn't have done, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, and that's the way these videos are, I guess. It's just me. It's just the way it goes, and I'll see you shortly. Hey everybody, Kevin here from HumboldtCraftworks. Welcome back to another episode of Woodworking with Mr. Kevin. Today's video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang something very heavy on a wall, and I'm gonna show everybody out there how to find studs using earth magnets, cheap earth magnets, no expensive stud finders that cost $60 or $80. We're just gonna use magnets. Super easy to do. Anybody could do this. You can take earth magnets and they're pretty strong. They're stuck to each other. Oh, stuck to each other again. Earth magnets are strong. They'll find any piece of metal in the wall. If you have a ginormous TV, you want to hang it on the wall, you want to find the studs, go get yourself some earth magnets. They cost like $4 or $5. Don't spend the $60 on something you're going to use once or twice. The batteries cost $20 and they die because you never use the damn thing. It's just what happens. I'm telling you the truth. I've been doing this forever. Trust me, I'm old.
Really?
No. So in today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to hang something very, very heavy and large on a wall.
Nice.
It's approximately 50 inches wide, it's about 2 feet tall, sticks off the wall about almost 2 feet, and it's gonna hold my ass up. So there's another 230 pounds. Basically, it's a chin-up bar that's very large. It looks like it belongs in the front of my Chevy pickup truck. It's that big. If you have a large, heavy mirror that you want to put on the wall, you need to put it into studs. You don't want to use those lead anchors that you screw into the drywall, because if there's an earthquake or anything or whatever, it's liable to fall off. Somebody bumps into it, it's liable to break it, and you have a hole in your drywall and a broken mirror. Ginormous TVs, those big 60 or 70 inch, 80, 100 inch TVs, you want to mount those securely to a stud. You don't want to just have it in some kind of anchor that you've seen on the boob tube. Oh yeah, this just slides in there and has a little thing that'll hold 100 pounds. And then you pull it off when you're done. Yeah, those don't work either. So we're going right into the stud. And we're going into the stud with, drum roll please, this thing.
What?
You see that? This is a 5-inch deck screw. It's very large, very heavy. They cost like $1.20 a piece. They take a special little Torx bit that we gotta use. The guy was like, no, normal Torx bits don't work. So we gotta buy these $9,000 Torx bit that only work with this stuff. And we'll see, oh yeah, it works in there. It works beautifully. After we lay it out, we're gonna drill a hole. We're gonna screw this through the 2x6 right into a stud. So we'll be in that stud probably a good 2 or 3 inches. And it's been a while since I put out a video because I'm working all the time. My new job keeps me working 8 hours a day plus some Saturdays. And I have other work that I'm trying to take care of and get done before I completely retire. I apologize for not putting out videos. I really appreciate everybody who's still subscribing. It blows me away. Every day I look at it, it keeps going up and up. And thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and comment below because it really helps. This big space is the only spot in my entire house that I could build something that's gonna save my shoulders.
What?
It's gonna save my shoulders. And you're like, what the hell is he talking about? I need to hang from something like this because my work nowadays is killing me. Because I'm always screwing like this with a driver in my hand, or like this, or up on something, or down on something, inside of something, and my shoulders are shot. I have shoulder impingement, and that's what happens when you get old and you've been a woodworker for 35 years. Your body just goes and doesn't want to work anymore, so you have to do things to help. So I'm gonna put a big ass huge chin-up bar right here, because that's the only place in my house that'll work. Here's the magnets that we're gonna use, K&J magnets, earth magnets. You can tell they stick to everything. Really easy to find studs this way. They screw on the drywall with a freaking screw, which is steel, or they hammer it in with a stupid nail, which is steel. And these things stick to steel like nobody's business. Studs aren't always 16 on center. My house was built in 1989 here in McKinleyville. You don't ever know where they're gonna be. They might be like 4 inches apart or 10 inches apart or 20 inches apart. They might not be anywhere for 30 inches. You never know. So that's why I always use earth magnets, and I find one at the top and I mark it, and then I come down and I try to find where the other screw is that's holding in the drywall. And once you got them lined up, you just kind of mark it and put tape on it. You'll see it here shortly. So this is what we're gonna use first. We know there's a stud here, right? There's a king stud. You hear that? Hard as a rock. You can even use one of those crappy magnets and it'll work. So what we're gonna do with this one, we're gonna use the little hooks because they're very strong. Come up here, and there's one. All right, well, there's another one there. So we know there's a stud there. Come down here, go back and forth, and there's one there. So we know that this is a stud. I'm just gonna take that green tape and we're gonna mark it. We're gonna go like this, and we're just gonna put a center line. So now that we got that one marked, we're gonna start moving over, and we're gonna go that way, find another stud. Could be anywhere, like I said, you never know. What is that, 10 or 12 inches away? Whatever. Let's come up here and try to see if we can find another one. There's the other one. So there's a stud there, and it has screws or nails in it. Studs aren't always 16 inches apart like they should be. Whatever. Mark that somewhere like that. Okay. We got a stud there. We got a stud here, so that's a big ass king studs. All right, we got a stud mark there. We got this one over here. This isn't the prettiest thing in the world, but it's a way to find them. Okay, we found one there, right? So now we're gonna come down, and there's another one. So we know there's one stud there. Now, is my tape job the best? No, I don't really care. This is just so we can find studs. So now what we're gonna do is measure the chin-up bar so I know exactly what the size is, and we'll go from there. So now we have all the studs marked with the green tape and Sharpie. We've measured that. It says it's 50 some odd inches wide, 52 inches or something. So we're gonna come over here. We're gonna cut all these to 55. Look, my tape needs Viagra. So 55 is right where my finger is. And that's what we're gonna cut all these 2x6s to. So now it's time to go out in the shop and start cutting things. We've got 2 of these cedar 2x6s. We're gonna cut them to 55 inches. We're gonna drag this chin-up bar out there. I'm gonna show you actually how big it is. We're going to figure out where the studs are gonna go. So we're gonna drill 2 holes per each stud per board. So there'll be 2 holes in each one of these things with those 5-inch screws going into the wall. And then we're gonna lay out where the bolts go and all that out in the shop. And we'll talk about certain things that you need to do, how to drill in what, and make sure it all works out. And if you're completely lost, so am I. So let's go out in the shop and see how all this crap works. So we're going through a 2x6 with this into the stud. And once these are attached and they're all level and plumb and beautiful, then we're gonna come back and we're gonna take these 1.5-inch bolts and with the washer on there, and we're gonna go from the chin-up bar through its flange into the stud. And that should hopefully hold that thing on there. There's 8 of these. You gotta measure the interior width of this bolt. Here's the threads on the outside. What you wanna do is measure the body. And that's the size drill bit you wanna use. So that's like a 1/4 inch. We're gonna use a 1/4 inch bit, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill through the 2x6, wherever there's a flange right dead center. We're gonna bolt that in later. What we wanna do is take out the material and just have the corkscrew part go into the wood. Now we're gonna do this screw right here. Let's see, 1.69. It's like 3/16. 1.875 is 3/16. So I have this tapered bit here. It is 1.5. So that's close. So when we go through the 2x6, we basically want to blow through it and just use this flange to attach. This is mainly for holding power. This ought to hold my fat ass on the wall. And we'll see how that goes. We're not going to use any adhesive in any kind, no construction adhesive. So now I'm going to cut these to 55. We're going to chamfer the edges using my trusty little chop saw here. I'll show you what they look like, and we'll go from there.
A few moments later.
So now we got these 2 done. I'm gonna go in the house real quick, take one of these, and then I'm just gonna mark it on the wall where all the studs are. We're gonna put a square on it, and we're gonna make these identical. We're gonna put 2 screws in each one. Gonna come down 1 inch and up 1 inch and right in line. Okay, so hopefully I did everything correctly, and what I'm gonna do now is take these and mark them down. 3 3/4, 17 3/4, 31 3/4, and 50 3/8. That was all the numbers. Now I'm gonna mark these here. 3 3/4, 17 3/4, 31 3/4, and then 50 3/8. Way the hell over here. There seems to be a gap in the wall of something like 18.5 inches. Whatever. All right, I got them all marked here. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take some kind of square, hopefully, and transfer all these. This is sacrilegious. Look at the spider webs on this thing. Ugh. Look at spider parts just floating around here. It's like it's Halloween or something. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my pinnacle, and we're gonna come off of here. I'm just gonna put a light mark. I'm gonna put the little arrow at the top of both of them. That way I know that ends up. And now I have to go get the monstrosity and bring it out here. Oh, shit. Check it out. With my shoulder hurting the way it is, it's hard to pick this damn thing up. All right, check that out. Look how big that is. So when we go to install this, I want to be able to hang from some of this by getting up on my tippy toes and grabbing it. That's going to be a thing, because we have to figure out how to get this level to where we want it and then hang this crap and make sure it's all together and level and everything. So what I'm going to try to do now is get this in a line and square. So I'm going to use this frame and square. That's pretty good just like that. Check to make sure this is also square. These look good. That looks good. Put these two together. That's about a 1/4 inch away from there. That's really off. This is bent. It's just the way it is. Hopefully it won't affect the way everything else goes together. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all these, I'm gonna mark them out with a pencil, and then we're gonna drill them out. This one's gonna be kind of hard because of the way the angle is. And we could bolt these through from the back. The only bolt that I'm not really sure about is this one right here, getting it in. But we're gonna find out here in a second. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill these through and then we're gonna bolt that in. I got the marks on here. So now we've got a 1/4 inch bit here. We're gonna drill out for these guys. I'm gonna use that punch technique. Taking this punch, I'm gonna lay it down in the center of this, as close as I can get to the center, because I want that in there, centered. And I'm gonna punch a hole in it. Okay, I'll show you this in a second. Try to eyeball the center as best you can. This is that weird one, but that's it. And this will help guide that stupid bit when we go to drill these out. And hopefully that bar will hold. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna try this to see what happens, see if we rip it off the wall. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna take this. All right, there it is. And that's in there and it feels pretty tight. So we're gonna go with that. I'm not sure how this whole thing's gonna go on the wall, but hopefully it'll go somehow. Drill that out. We tested it, it works. Now we're just gonna drill all the rest out here. There it is in all its glory. So we got the holes for the studs, we got the holes for the mounts for the bolts here. That's all ready to go. I got my bag of bolts here. These are gonna go in here. That should hold that in the studs. These are gonna get bolted in here, and hopefully these hold. As long as I don't go crazy and jump up and down, it should stay on there. But I have a feeling that I might have to pull these off and then countersink bolts and nuts and washers in the back. I'm gonna go get some food, I'm hungry, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hey everybody, it's the next day. We're now going to try to hang this thing. And this morning I realized that I had this bar upside down. So I had to flip everything around. Hopefully the holes will line up. If they don't, we'll make new holes, I guess, or start over. Loser. We have our lines here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise my hand up as high as I can get it, and that's where I want the bar. I just want it to go up like 2 inches on my tippy toes and grab the bar. So for me to grab something, I'm on my tippy toes. That's like 91 inches. I moved this one up to 90.5 inches. Mark it right here. I have this little magnet here I'm gonna put right on the edge here. That is actually 1 inch. I'm gonna put these big ass screws in here until they pop out the other side. And I'm gonna do that all the way down, I think. I'll just do the top one for now. Now, that little spacer is 1 inch. Okay, there we go. I got the stud at least. That one sunk it right in there. That's all I need. I'm done. And it's pretty level, except for that end's got to go up. Don't use your tools like this. Got the 2-pound mallet. Now I went too far. What I'm gonna do now is get on the floor and reach my hand up, see how that feels. Because the bar is a little bit higher than this. So I'm gonna do the arm that doesn't hurt. There it is. Let me get my hand up there. See now, if I just hung like this on this one board, it'd be great. But then I'd look silly. I should probably get this tape out of here. That tape's buried, so when I take this down 5 years from now, it'll be buried in there and be like, oh look, green tape, I got it. Let's see if we hit the stud on this one. We definitely hit the stud. Okay, so my question to all of you is, what do you think will rip off first? This off the wall or the chin-up bar rip out all these bolts? Do you think it'll hold my weight? I'm 230 pounds, 6'1.5". I used to be taller and I keep shrinking. Let me know in the comments below if you think it'll hold me up. It could rip off and the whole wall can come off. Those things are in there. So that just made this wall sturdier. Now the hard part. All right, so here we go from here. Look at Tito's gonna help. Come on, Tito. Yay, Tito likes to help a lot. So now what I have to do is I have to measure from here to here and hang that other board. So So it looks like 11 3/4. And this one over here, yeah, something like that. So 11 3/4. So from this board here down to here, we're gonna go 11 3/4. So I'm gonna go cut 2 boards, tape them to the wall, and I'm just gonna butt the other board up into it. That's the easiest way for me to do it. So I got 2 boards cut at 11 3/4. I'm gonna hold them on with speed tape, and we're just gonna stick it to the wall and hopefully it'll stay. I don't know if that'll stay, but we'll see.
Communication failure.
Yeah, sometimes it just falls off the wall. Okay, since the double stick tape didn't wanna stick to my curvy ass walls, we're just gonna put double stick tape and some blue tape at the same time. Hopefully that frickin' works. Should have done this first and then the tape. That would have been smarter. Okay, so now we have that. We need to take this and put that down here. That's our 1-inch marker. I'm starting to move again and my shoulder's starting to really hurt. All right, we're gonna do this one again. We're gonna take our level and just double, triple check it. That says dead nuts level. It's as level as that one is. That's pretty close. And that one's just barely touching the line too, so touching the line is pretty good for a chin-up bar, I guess. Yeah, we nailed it. Yeah, we nailed that one too. That part is on. This is the part that's gonna suck, and I don't know if I can do this by myself or not. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean up a minute. I'm gonna go get all the bolts and washers and get them ready. I'm gonna put the rest of these in, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I'm not even sure how this is gonna work. If I can get it close to this hole over here and grab this, that's gonna be on this ladder right here. Hopefully I can pick it up and just, I don't know. I have no idea. Let's try and see what happens.
Danger.
That ain't gonna work.
No
I can try sticking it up there.
Super genius.
Any of you want to come over and help me? I'm gonna try something else, because that really hurts my shoulder. I'm just gonna raise one end up on the ground. See if I can get it like this. If I can get this bottom one in here. So far, so good. Here's my only problem. All the screws are in the other freaking room. Okay, handful of screws. I'm gonna put some in here. Hopefully the washers stay on them. All right, try not to drag it over the wall too much. Keep the paint on there and all that. Hopefully that doesn't rip out of the wall, because this freaking thing's heavier than shish kebabs. All right, got an idea. I'm gonna try to put this on it, but I might be able to use this. So hold that in place maybe. Try to get these bolted through and then loosen everything up and kind of move it around. This is just, I have no idea. I shouldn't do this by myself. If we have to drill new holes, we will. That's sort of there. All right, so I got these here. I'll try to get this son of a bitch in here and help hold it in place. Now we'll try over here. I think I might have to re-drill all these holes. Yeah, there it is right there. So these ones are gonna be kind of a pain in the butt. I don't think I'm gonna get them in there. Slight angle, I guess. Well, it's getting there. I just have to do it on an angle, I guess. And that top one, I'm gonna try to loosen these, loosen up them all and see if I can move that into the holes that I need to be in. Because, yeah, it's just different. So far, so good. You see how big it is, right? Freaking thing's a monster. That's the last one. So I'm gonna go get the wrench and I'm gonna try to loosen everything up, and I'll flip you guys back on. Sometimes you have problems when you go to install things. You just gotta think through it and see what works. I didn't think I'd get that up by myself, but I did. So now I just got those last bolts to deal with. And the thing was bent sort of when I got it, so I'm gonna have to manipulate it. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put those bolts right there and see if it'll move around. All right, put this bit back in this driver. And we're gonna go up here, drill that upper hole. I use both of my handy helpers here to kind of guide this up because it's bent. Drill this and put this bolt in. And I should have hit it with the freaking nail set first because it wanted to go down. Put this in with the impact driver. Ow. Alrighty. It's worked pretty good. You push a little button and it goes up, push down, it'll go down, or you can give the old ups to daisy and it just goes up in increments. But yeah, it works really good. Only thing is you gotta be careful not to drop them because when this part breaks, you're screwed. Last one, let's do this hole. Once you put these in there, this one's twisted so bad it just pushed the whole thing out that way, so whatever. And the one thing I would do if I was doing this again, knowing that this is not totally square and plumb and beautiful like you think it would be, is to only drill in one at the top and then drill all the holes later and just put a level up on here and just, all right, that's level, we're good. Start at one end, work your way around. Use 2 people, not one, like stupid me did. I'm gonna put the last bolt in here. And now what do you think is gonna happen when I go to hang from this? Think it'll rip off the wall? I hope it doesn't. I'm gonna go slowly and make sure it doesn't creak and crack. I'm pretty sure these bolts will not come out. These deck screws are gnarly. These, it is going into cedar after all, and hopefully it doesn't kill us. Feels pretty sturdy. So when I get all this done, hopefully it doesn't fall off the wall. If it does, well, time to start over. So what I wanted is to be able to hang from this thing here, like this. And that really hurts my shoulder. So I'm just gonna hold on my tippy toes. See that? And that's just stretching my back. I can feel it all the way through my rib cage, all the way down into my butt, basically. All right, everybody, well, there you go. It's on the wall. I'm gonna mount these on later. I'm just gonna try doing my exercises, just hanging. I'm gonna practice hanging for, I'll give it a month or two, maybe every day. Just do it a couple, 3 times a day. I gotta loosen up the impingement in my shoulder. I'm a very tight shouldered person. If you're a woodworker, you'll know what I'm talking about. Shoulder impingement, it's a real thing. The older you get, the worse it gets. Spending 20, 30 years of your life with a driver in your hand, installing things when your hand's way inside and you're pushing this way with your hand, or you're trying to screw something up into the ceiling, or you're doing something stupid like I'm doing here, and you're always moving around like this, spending most of your whole entire time building stuff on a bench like this, all bent over, looking down. Everything needs to stretch out. And I was told by several people, dude, just hang by something, and there it is. I'm gonna hang by that using my hands, and I'm gonna use these rings too. I'm gonna try to do little exercises to loosen up my shoulders. I'll let you know how it goes, but you know, us old farts gotta try whatever we can to avoid the doctor and getting yourself cut open, because that's no good. I've had enough surgeries. I've had 3 surgeries on 2 hands, 1 on my back. And this came out pretty damn good, except for the problems that it has still, but it's better than losing your hand. All right, everybody, well, I'm gonna go clean up my mess and hang from my new chin-up bar. All right, well, there it is. It didn't fall off the wall yet. If it does, I'm gonna take a picture of it and put it on the YouTubes or something. Hey, look at this. I fell off the damn thing. Hey, everybody, Kevin here. It's a month later. It's the day after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. So as you can see, the chin-up bar is still here. I added rings to it so I could stretch out even more. I can do my pull-ups like this, my cheating pull-ups, but it actually helps me out. That's easy enough. I can hang from all different positions now, hanging with my feet off the ground right now. I can do tight grip like that, have my hands out like this, or I can go way out here, and I can do all these things. The bar does bend down a little bit when I put all my weight on it, but I'm 10 pounds lighter now, and that's amazing too. I weighed myself the other day, I'm 225, but my shoulder feels great. It doesn't hurt hardly at all anymore. I could sleep through the night. It's amazing, and nothing's falling off the wall. So if you're having problems with your shoulders, try, slowly but surely hanging from something and see if that actually helps you out. It helped me out. This was either tendonitis or a shoulder impingement or something. I drill a lot of left-handed things all the time, and that's what screwed me up. It's amazing. This thing has saved my shoulder. No doctors, no doctor bills, no drugs, no therapy of any kind. Well, I need therapy, but it's just mental therapy. Just simply hanging from my tippy toes down until I could actually hold up my own body weight. And then it's just body weight for like 30 seconds, 3 or 4 times a day. And it helped. And it stayed on the wall. We found the studs with using just little earth magnets. Nothing's come off. Everything has worked as planned. And don't ever give up on anything. If you think, I don't know if I can do that or not, just try it. What are you gonna do, screw it up? I do it all the time. This whole video is nothing but screw ups. Live and learn. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching. You have an awesome day. Go outside and play. Hug somebody you love. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time right here on Woodworking with Mr. Kevin. That's me. And the next, we're actually going to have woodworking, not something stupid like this. I appreciate everybody. We've surpassed 1,600 subscribers. We're almost to 1,650 or beyond. I don't even know. I don't know how that happens. But thank you all for watching and subscribing. Tell all your friends, share it with the world, and thank you very much. And I'll see you soon. I'm going to go do some chin-ups. Should I zoom in? Let me zoom in. Zoom. That's it? I guess that's all we get. The only problem with working somewhere else and not in my shop all the time is all of my my good tools are at work. And I could bring them home. I just lazy, just lazy. It gives me a chance to buy new tools, but they're not the same. God, there's all these things.